everyone. Welcome to Womb Wisdom Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining me today. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let's just put up both feet on the floor and just get centered for a second. And just put one hand to heart, one hand on your womb. And we're just gonna do a little connection and just do a check-in. How you're feeling. Just take a deep breath in. And as you release, push your belly out. Really just soften. I know as women sometimes we like to hold our bellies in, suck it in per se, and I just want to give everyone permission to just let it go. Let it go. Let your belly just be round and soft, and take another deep breath in and let it out. And then just take a moment and just ask yourself, how are you feeling right now? What do you need? And take another deep breath in and exhale. And this time with this exhale, I want you to just do a quick scan from the top of your head all the way down your face, releasing and all the tension that you may feel in your face. Release any tension or tightness in your shoulders. If your shoulders are up to your ears, just let them go. Release your jaw, your neck, your chest. And if you're still holding any tension in your belly, in your legs, just let all that go. And you can also now release your hands. Take another deep breath in and release. And let's take another deep breath in. This time we're going to let out some sound with that exhale. Deep breath in. I just want you to pay attention how good that feels to release some sound down through your chest, all the way down through your abdomen, all the way down your body. Let's take one more deep breath in, last time, and release with sound. And then just shake it out. If you want to shake, just get some energy out. Shake it. Okay. So I didn't get any questions based on topics or just anything anyone had any questions about womb healing. So instead, I decided that I would bring you some questions today. And we're going to be looking at the signs of blocked feminine energy and and how to free that, how to free the flow. I've not drank enough water today, I can tell. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you about 25 questions, just to give you a number. And all you're going to do is, as I'm asking these questions, is it's going to be a quick check-in. So if you have a journal, you can have the journal and a pen, and you can write down your each thing that I'm asking you, if you've experienced this lately, or if you're experiencing it now, or you recognize this coming and going throughout your life. There's going to be several different things that I'm going to note, that I'm going to ask you. So just take note and make a list of any of these things that you're currently dealing with, because as human beings, we have both feminine energy and masculine energy. And so a lot of times our feminine energy gets blocked because we live in a society and culture that praises the masculine energy and overstimulates the masculine energy too much, to where we put our feminine energy aside, and it creates an imbalance within our bodies. And ultimately that's reflected out into our lives. It can manifest in other ways. So I'm going to go into probably another time about balance versus imbalance of the feminine energy. But today I just want you to notice how your feminine energy could be blocked. Okay? So I want you to think about your ability to create. And so if you've experienced, are you experiencing any lacks of creativity and inspiration? When you're faced with a creative project, do you typically come up against this wall of like of writer's block, creative's block, and you just can't quite get that idea that you're looking for, the inspiration that you're looking for to create? And this could be creating a program. This could be creating an art project. This could be in your business, creating a marketing plan, or creating graphics, or creating content. This could be also in, maybe you want to do something different around your home, and you're just trying to figure out, like, what am I going to do with this extra chair, or where should I put this or that, where in your creativity. Or maybe it's something that you do every single day, and it could be in cooking, and maybe you're running out of ideas and you're cooking the same thing every day, and you're looking for that boost of inspiration, or even something that you used to love that maybe you just don't love it anymore. And why is that? So if you're feeling a lack of creativity and inspiration, I want you to write that down, whether or not that's you. Okay, so number 2, feeling stuck. Feeling stuck kind of goes with lack of creativity and inspiration, but feeling stuck is when we're in a situation and we just feel like we can't move to get ahead. So this could be stuck in your finances. This could be stuck in your relationships. This could be stuck in your business. This could be stuck in your own personal self, that maybe there's just something that you feel like you can't get past. Maybe there's a pattern that you keep repeating and you feel stuck, like you can't get off the hamster wheel. So write down whether or not you're feeling stuck. Okay, number 3. Difficulty finding your purpose. Maybe there's so many things that you want to do and you can't decide what that is. Or maybe it's just the opposite, and you don't know what you like and you don't know what you want. And you're working a job that you absolutely hate, and it's not who you thought you would be in your profession, and you feel like you're not living in your purpose. And so if you feel like you're having difficulty in attaining what your purpose is, write that down. Okay, so I just want to take a pause and just take a deep breath into that. And just think about how these last 3 things feel within your body. How does it feel when we're lacking creativity? Where do you feel that in your body? And how does that feel when you feel stuck? Where do you feel that? Maybe you feel it in your gut. Maybe you feel it in your throat. Maybe you feel it in your chest. And then difficulty finding your purpose. Where do you feel that in your body? Maybe you feel it in your womb. Or maybe you feel it in your head, in your crown, in your third eye. And just pay attention to where in your body you feel that. Okay. All right, number 4. Having a low self-esteem or having low self-worth. And so feel into yourself, into your body, into your heart, on your self-esteem and self-worth. How much value do you place in your own self-esteem? And how do you feel about your self-worth? Do you feel worthy to receive? Do you feel worthy to have the desires that you crave? Do you feel like you deserve to have your desires? Do you feel like you deserve to have what you want and achieve what you always wanted to achieve? Do you feel like things are possible for you? Do you feel that, do you feel good enough? How's your self-esteem? So write that down if you're struggling in that area. Okay, number 5. Lack of self-care and self-nurturing practices. So when I talk about self-care, I'm not always, even though I am a hairstylist by trade, I am not always talking about getting your hair done and your nails done. I'm talking about real self-nurturing. And maybe some women are very nurtured by getting their hair done, yes, of course, and getting their nails done. But I'm talking about more of like self-care for your energy. Are you getting enough rest? Are you drinking enough water? Are you moving your body in ways that feel good and that really lift you up and raise your vibration? Are you doing things for your body and your mind and your soul that really nurture you, that feed you? How's your diet? How are you eating? And I'm not going to try to tell you how to eat, but what are the choices that you make for yourself, your daily living? Are you nurturing yourself? Are you giving yourself time to slow down and rest? A lot of women don't rest. And I have learned in these last couple years with a new kid, he's 2 now, and I really appreciate his nap time because that's my nap time too. And I've given myself permission to take naps. And so if you ever get the chance to read the book, Rest is Resistance, it will change your life. It's totally life-changing because we're not taught to rest. And we operate in this culture that thrives on productivity and hustle and, if you take a nap, oh, you're being lazy. And that's not the case. We need rest. We must fuel and fill up our cup so we can be better reserves of energy, of our own energy, so that we can pour into other people and other projects. So how is your relationship to self-care and self-nurturing practices? Number 6, do you struggle to express your needs? And this goes back to people pleasing. Do you just go with the flow of what everyone else around you wants you to do? Or do you speak up and say, yeah, I would really like for you to do this for me? Do you speak those needs out? Or do you, are you comfortable with your inner yes and your inner no of, not overcommitting and saying yes to the things that really light you up? Okay, number 7. Do you feel disconnected to your emotions? Do you feel like you give yourself the opportunity to feel what you're feeling? This is could also be related to your needs as well, because are you comfortable expressing how you're feeling? Sometimes when I've noticed that a lot of women, you'll ask them how they're doing and they'll say, oh, I'm fine, when that's really not the case. Mostly I'm fine means I'm lying for the majority. And I just want to highlight this because I so honored one of my clients a few weeks ago. She came in and I asked her how she was doing when she walked in, and she said, I'm so anxious, I'm full of anxiety right now. And I was like, oh, okay, let's sit down, let's talk about it. Is there anything you want to talk about first before we do anything? And she was planning to come in and do a big drastic change, and she was feeling really anxious about that because she was so attached to her long hair and she was ready to let go of it, but it was also scary at the same time, and she was feeling a lot of anxiety. And so we sat down, we talked, and I just listened to her and let her hold space for her while she expressed how she was feeling and how much she loved her long hair. But on the flip side, everything in her life was reflecting that she was ready for change. And so by the time we sat down and talked and she released her feelings, and so instead of suppressing her feelings and us rushing in to cut her hair, she was able to express that and just feel what she felt. And once she got it out, she was just like, okay, I'm ready. And we cut her hair, and it was such an amazing experience for both of us, just to witness her in that moment, to be able to express how she was feeling. Because even when I'm juggling a household of 3 kids and doing housework and doing homeschool work and doing my business work and then running a hair salon, it can be overwhelming. And sometimes I have to allow myself permission to just say, you know what, I'm overwhelmed today, this is what I'm feeling, and it's okay. Even if there's no one else to talk to, sometimes I have to tell that, I have to just say it to myself. Yeah, you're a little overwhelmed right now, Kristen. Okay. And just be with it and not judge it. So I'm curious, do you suppress your feelings? Write that down if you do. Okay. Number 10. Do you have a difficulty setting boundaries and saying no? As women, we typically do take on more than our plate can carry. And so, are you good with setting boundaries around your time, around your to-do list, around your work schedule? Do you honor your own space to say, this is what I can do today, and this is what I'm not a yes for? That, no, I can't do this today. Are you aware of your own capacity? Or do you leak your energy and just say yes to everything that comes your way and then deal with the overwhelm later? So if you feel like you're constantly in superwoman mode and not saying no when you feel on the inside that, yeah, maybe I could have said no. Yeah. I know there have been times when I love supporting people. I love to do things, in certain situations where, in personal growth. And, I recently said I was going to be a part of a program, and then I decided, is this the best use of my time? Do I need to do this right now? And when I checked in, it wasn't a yes for me. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to do this right now. And after I decided that I was good with my no, the anxiety went away because I felt like I was adding on too much to my plate. And not only just too much, but was it going to be a good use of my time and my energy? So consider your time and your energy when you're making decisions to take on extra things, and make sure you're setting boundaries around your time and space. So if you feel like you have difficulty in this area, I want you to write that down on your list. Okay, number 11. Do you have difficulty receiving love from others? And I'm going to expand on that. Not only just love, do you accept compliments? When you get a compliment, do you downplay it? Do you say, oh, someone might say, oh, I love your shawl, and if I respond, oh, this old thing, that's downplaying a compliment instead of saying thank you. This is my favorite. I love it. It's so cozy and it's just warm and it's my favorite. Doesn't matter how old it is. Doesn't matter how worn something is. It doesn't matter, do you accept a compliment in a way when someone compliments how nice you look, or how beautiful you've decorated your home, or how well of a job you did? Or do you downplay that as a way of, it's nothing, So how well do you receive compliments? How well do you receive love from others? This could even be affectionate love. This could be, do you receive affection? Do you receive gifts well? Do you feel worthy in receiving? So how well do you receive love? Number 12. Are you feeling disconnected from your body? Do you feel like you're in your headspace a lot? You're constantly overthinking, maybe a little bit foggy, a little bit cloudy, and you feel like you're like way up here, and like you need to just come down. You can't quite you don't feel grounded. So do you feel disconnected from your body? Are you able to check in with your womb space? Are you able to check in with your heart? Are you able to check in with your voice? Do you feel connected to your power, your intuition? Can you hear those voices on the inside, your body's wisdom? Do you feel disconnected from your body? If so, write that down. Okay, number 13. Do you experience reproductive health issues and physical symptoms? So this could be PCOS. This could be heavy periods. This could be heavy cramping, migraines. This could be like all the PMS symptoms, fatigue. Do you feel really tired? Do you feel reproductive issues such as fibroids, or just a lot of pain? Any kind of reproductive issues that you may be dealing with your womb space? Are you dealing with some symptoms there? And this could also be pain during sex, if you experience any kind of pain during intercourse. So any kind of reproductive health issues. If so, write that down. Okay? All right, let's take a breath after this one. This one can be very heavy, the reproductive issues. If you've experienced miscarriages, stillborns, and infertility. So let's just take a breath and acknowledge all the reproductive health issues and physical symptoms that a woman can go through or does currently. So let's just take a breath. And if you can, place both hands on your womb space and just imagine this beautiful pink and green, translucent, luminescent energy of light going into your womb and just filling up your womb space. Whether or not you have a physical womb or not, you still have a cosmic, energetic womb. So imagine that love just filling up your womb space. Take a deep breath in and release. And then just check in here how your womb space is feeling. Do you experience any reproductive issues? You can write that down. Okay. All right, so number 14, inability to experience pleasure and joy. And so this is a big topic, inability to experience. I'm going to break this down. Inability to experience pleasure. So pleasure and joy are simultaneously the same thing. However, there's two parts to this pleasure. One is being able to find the pleasure and joy in life. Are you able to see the beauty all around you? Are you able to find joy every day in just the simplest task, and the simplest a cup of coffee, or being in nature? Are you able to experience joy in the simple ways that life gives us, that sometimes we take for granted? Are you able to experience pleasure in your work or in creating? Are you able to experience pleasure in creating beauty? Doing things that you love? And then there's the other part of pleasure, that's sexual pleasure. Are you able to experience pleasure for yourself? Do you give your pleasure away to your partner to experience, or to give them the responsibility to help you experience pleasure? Do you allow pleasure for yourself? Because pleasure is our birthright. And so pleasure is a huge, broad area. We can find pleasure in so many ways. It doesn't always have to be it's not always sexual. It could be you find pleasure in just looking into your baby's eyes. It could be you find pleasure in playing with your little puppies and walking your dog and just watching them be who they are. Or cats, if you're a cat person. It could be just in making art. It could be in your garden, finding pleasure with Mother Nature, taking a walk, gazing at the river and the ocean, listening to the ocean. It could be in music, listening to music. It could be in dancing, the way you move your body. So do you allow yourself to experience pleasure? Okay. Number 15. Do you lack authentic sexual expression? Do you express your sexuality? Are you comfortable expressing yourself in your own sexuality, whether you're with a partner or not? Are you comfortable expressing your own needs and desires? Number 16. Are you disconnected from your intuition and inner wisdom? Do you look for outside sources to tell you what to do, rather than seeking your own inner wisdom? Are you able to tap into that inner intuition? Can you hear that voice? Do you know the difference between your ego and your intuition? That's another class. Are you connected to your body's wisdom? Do you pay attention to the signals, the sensations of your body? This is why sensuality is so important. Being able to tap into our body's wisdom, because our body will always tell us what is going on, whether we're good or whether we need to tend to something and there's something that needs your attention. So being connected to your body is super important. So write that down if you feel a little disconnected from your body's wisdom and your intuition. And remember, none of these things, it's not to give you a whole list of things you need to fix. This is not what this is about. This is just inquiry to really look into the things and ways that we're disconnected from our feminine energy. And it's not about fixing. Not about fixing at all. Okay, so the next one, number 17, do you lack connection to nature and the natural world? Are you in the house all the time? Are you not a fan of going outside? Does being in nature irritate you if bugs get on you, or the smell of nature, or just how do you feel about the natural world? Are you connected to it? Has it been a while since you went outside and just paid attention? I catch this with myself pretty often, actually, in the last month, that I haven't been going outside as much. And when it's cold, I like to stay in. And I've never really been much of a homebody until the last couple of years. Even during the pandemic, I wasn't much for staying in the house. So since having my third child, I've noticed that I'm in the house a little bit more than what I would prefer. And it's a great reminder now, the seasons are changing and it's, getting warmer. Well, depending on what state you're in, but, or what part of the world you're in. But as the seasons are changing and we're in spring in the northern hemisphere, we're experiencing warmer weather, and it will allow us to go outside more, if you're not a fan of being in the cold. But if we can open up to being in nature all year round and experiencing all the seasons outdoors, it's really a beautiful way to connect with nature, experiencing the birth, the rebirth, and the death of the seasons, and all her stages, all her beauty year round. So how connected to nature are you? And this also is your connection to animals. If you are connected to power animals, do you have a relationship with butterflies, owls, hawks, birds? What's your connection to the natural world? This also goes back to trees and plants. Do you have a relationship with plants? Maybe you have a lot of house plants, but have maybe not been tending to them very well. What's your relationship with them? So just write that down if you feel disconnected from the natural world. Okay. Number 18. Do you find it difficult to connect with other women? This is a big one. A lot of women have experienced the sisterhood wound, the witch wound. We've been conditioned by society to compete, there's the internalized misogyny, judging other women, being betrayed by other women, that can lead to a distrust toward other women. So how's your relationship to other women? How's your relationship with your mom, your sister, your grandmother? Do you have friends that are women? So write that down if you have difficulty with sisterhood. And again, this is not a judgment, because I've experienced this one's been a big one for me personally. And we're going to dive into sisterhood wounds and the witch wound very soon. So number 19, masculine energy. Do you feel like your masculine energy is pretty dominant? Do you operate in the hustle? Do you operate in go, go, go? Do you always feel like you have to keep pushing rather than being, always constantly doing? And again, this is not a judgment, but do you find yourself doing more than being, or giving more than receiving? And so if you do, you can write this down, that maybe your masculine energy is very dominant. Number 20, do you feel overwhelmed or burned out? Do you feel like you've just got so much on your plate? Do you feel like you've been exhausting so much energy into things, into projects, that maybe you're just not getting anywhere? And it goes back to getting stuck or feeling creatively blocked. Do you feel like you're reaching this point of overwhelm, or maybe you've been working a job that's not your passion anymore, and you feel like you're just done? You've reached to a point of burnout. So write that down if you feel like you're experiencing feelings of overwhelm and burnout. And this can also go for relationships as well, because sometimes, this could be a friend that just asks of too much. It could be a partner that's overwhelming. Do you feel like, you've been dealing with things over and over and over in your work or in other relationships that are just causing you to just burn out? What is that? So just write that down if you're feeling that. Number 21, do you focus on negative thoughts? When someone asks you a question, do you respond with negativity? And you might unconsciously do this, but maybe you say it and then you realize, maybe that was the most positive thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't express your feelings. I'm just saying, do you constantly think negatively? Are you not seeing the possibilities in a situation? Or is the sky always gray? And so there's a big difference in, because I don't want you to think that I mean like toxic positivity, but are your thoughts constantly negative towards your situation, towards yourself, towards others? How are your words? And particularly to yourself. What are those thoughts that you have to yourself? The words that are playing out in your mind. So if you are focusing on negative thoughts, you can write that down. Okay, my personal favorite, number 22. Are you a perfectionist? Do you struggle with perfectionism? This can be a really rooted thing, depending on how you grew up. If your parents always, maybe pushed you to be the best, or it could be you felt that you needed to compete to be the best, or you just get extremely upset when you get it wrong, or you mess up, or it doesn't go perfectly. So perfectionism, I have a long history with perfectionism, and I actually have a blog post about it. So do you experience perfectionism? Does everything have to be perfect? Or you put content out into the world before you share your gifts? Does it have to be perfect? Do you allow yourself some wiggle room to actually allow yourself to make a mess? Does everything have to be perfect all the time? It's real, and it's okay. It's all love. So write that down if you struggle with perfectionism. Number 23, attracting feminine men. And what I mean by this, it's not a judgment towards the men, and it's not a judgment towards you either. It just means that maybe you gravitate toward men who are not overly in their, who are not over masculine. They may take on more feminine roles, which in our society we're seeing a lot of men doing, more feminine roles than women, in some cases. And so maybe you attract men who are very emotional, that don't know how to, be balanced in their emotions or express their emotions, who wear their heart on their sleeve, So do you attract more feminine men versus masculine? And I don't mean this in a way of like you should always choose men that are. I'm just wondering if there's more, because if you do, more than likely you're probably holding on to more masculine energy, and which is very normal. And so when a woman operates in more masculine energy, she does typically attract men that are more in their feminine. And it's all energy. It doesn't mean anything. So write that down if you feel like you attract feminine men. Okay, 24. Do you feel averse to womanhood and or motherhood? How has the transition been since you started your period and becoming a woman? How do you feel about being a woman? How do you feel about being in a woman's body, having breast, or having a womb space? How do you feel about motherhood since you became, if you're a mother, if you have you experienced motherhood? Has it been a positive experience, or have you struggled with that? I have heard women say that, even though they had kids and they love their children, that motherhood just wasn't their thing. And I totally understand what they mean by that. It's another role that we take on, and sometimes it can be hard to step into that. And it doesn't mean that, oh, that's an evil thing or whatever. It doesn't mean anything like that. It's just sometimes it's something that we didn't plan on being a mother, or we had other things in mind. Maybe we were a career, and then we decided just to have a family, and everything shifted, and maybe it wasn't exactly what you expected. Some women do struggle with motherhood more than others. And some women struggle with being in a woman's body more than others. And so how's your relationship to womanhood and or motherhood? And so write that down. And so the last one is, are you envious of other feminine energies? Do you find yourself, when you see other women operating in their feminine, does it make you feel a little envious, a little jealous, a little, do you feel like you're lacking something? So just kind of do a little check-in, and let's just, let's take a deep breath after we've gone through these 25 things of how our feminine energy could be blocked. And so in order to free this flow, let's just take a breath for a moment. And I just want you to check in before we move on any further. How are you feeling right now after being asked these questions? Are they resonating? Are they filling your body up with anxiety? Are you feeling comfortable? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling What are you feeling right now after being asked these questions? Do you feel disconnected? Do you feel nurtured? Do you feel normal? And so some other signs of being disconnected from our feminine energy is fear. Fear can come up a lot when we're disconnected from our feminine because we're not fully grounded in our truth. And yes, there's always going to be something to be fearful of, but we don't have to live in fear. Another one is lack mentality, being in a scarcity mindset. And I know with the economy the way that it is right now, a lot of women are feeling this, especially if you're the breadwinner, or a lot of women are feeling this. And so it's important to keep our mentality from staying there. And then also a lack of self-acceptance and self-worth. I touched on this a little bit just a second ago. But how accepting are you for who you are? And so the way that we can release feminine energy is by bringing in more self-love, self-care, nurturing practices. And the way I like to bring in more feminine energy is through the body, through embodiment practices. And so a very simple, I'm going to give you a few, but one thing you can do is spend more time in nature, being with the mother herself. She will raise your vibration. She will make you feel more alive. You can experience the breath of life outside that's within you. And just being with the trees, being with nature and the animals and the natural world, it will raise your vibration. Another is exploring your sensuality, getting connected to all 5 senses. You'll experience more pleasure. You'll experience more beauty. You'll experience your own energy and frequency lifting and raising the vibration through smell, through touch, through sight, through sound, through taste. The human touch is so important. And so if right now, I want you to just take a moment and just give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a hug. Do you know how important it is to have a hug? There's a frequency that emits when 2 people hug because your hearts are so close together. You're sending love back and forth. And that's why sometimes a hug, it can almost feel like you don't want to let them go, or they don't want to let you go, because of that love, that frequency that's between our hearts. And so human touch, even just self-touch, just to even, just to touch your body, raises your vibration and connects you with your own feminine energy in a way that feels good to you. And then another, one of my favorite ways to connect to my feminine energy is daily movement. I try to dance every day. Sometimes I just sit on my yoga mat and I stretch back and forth, and maybe I'll just do hip circles. But activating your waist, moving your hips, just if doing circles, can activate your solar plexus and your sacral chakra. And so it's activating your womb space, and that's your feminine energy. And you're also moving your root chakra as well. And so those lower 3 chakras, they don't get much attention typically. We're usually stuck from the shoulders up. We're stuck in these, throat, third eye, crown chakras. And when we need to bring the energy back down to below the heart chakra to activate the heart, and below the heart chakra, moving your body, doing hip circles, dancing is such a great way to bring that energy down. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for joining. Lori says she loves to dance. Yeah. So if I can ever get this woman circle together, we're going to have a dance party. Because I love to dance. And so those are just a few tips to get your feminine energy moving. And another way that I'm going to be supporting some women right now, coming up in the next couple weeks. You've probably seen my post about it, but I'm opening up a group work program, and I'm looking for women who are beyond menopause, in menopause, perimenopausal, mothers, not mothers, and maidens who've never birthed a child, or just a young woman. I'm looking for from maiden to crone women to join this group program. I'm going to be getting certified through the Somatic Institute for Women, and so I'm inviting in other women to join me in real time as I'm learning the concepts and topics, and this will allow me to get some experience in facilitating and adding more to my current coaching program. And so if you're interested in this, I'm opening up enrollment for this right now. And so if you want to sign up, it's 3 months of coaching at least. I'm asking everyone to commit to at least 3 months of coaching for $222, and you get a 90-minute one-on-one session with me included in that for just making the commitment. Or if you decide you want to keep going from 3 months and you want to keep moving, do another 3 months, all you have to do is renew for another $222. Or the other option is to do the whole 15-month program with me for $1110. That's 15 months that we would be working together. Plus you'll get one 60-minute one-on-one session with me every single month, which is a $5,000 value. So this is like something I want to offer, because not only you're helping me out by getting some experience, but I really want more women to experience this work. I really want to help more women to start embodying their feminine energy and connect to their bodies. This is my purpose, and this is why I'm doing this work. So I really want to open up the space so more women can take advantage of this and to be able to experience this with me. So if you're interested, you can send me a message, or if you want to send me a text, an email. I'll put the information again in the comment section. You can also look back in the previous post. There's a whole post about it. If you're interested, send me a message. We'll get you signed up. Our group work will start, I believe, right now we're looking at, I think, April 11th. It's the week of April 8th. I do know that. And so it will be based on whoever's in the group as to what day and time we decide to do that. But we're going to be starting the week of April, and we'll be doing 3-month increments. And so another option is maybe you're not ready to commit to a program right now. That's totally fine. I also do one-on-one coaching, and so maybe you just want to experience a healing session with me. And so I offer one-on-one coaching sessions, and we go deep into your feminine energy, on where you feel balanced and imbalanced, and we do a little bit of Reiki, we do some embodiment practices, and it's really so that you can come out feeling empowered in who you are in your feminine, and bring those gifts out into the world so that you can create the life that you desire, so that you can go after your dreams, so that you feel nourished. And so I guide you through so many different layers. So if you have any questions about anything, just let me know, and I'd be happy to jump on a call with you, or if you just want to chat, that's totally fine too. I hope you enjoyed today's live, and if you have any questions about womb healing or feminine embodiment, I'm going to leave the post up about questions. So I'm still going to take questions about anything or topics that you might be interested. Put that in that feed, because I'm always open to feedback, so we can, keep bringing more value into this group. I also have a little bit of an announcement that I want to make, is that there is going to be coming soon, a membership. I haven't quite got everything set yet, but I'm putting together a membership to where we will be doing new moon calls, full moon calls, doing embodiment practices and rituals and ceremonies inside that membership every month. And you guys will be the first to know in this group. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming really soon. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you got something out of today. Remember to go back and look at your list of all the things that may have come up that might be blocking your feminine energy. And if you see, just do like a count, like how many things came up for you. And the reason I had you do this is because then you can see what's showing up in your life for you, and then how we can work together to bring a balance in your feminine energy through the different practices that we do here in this group or through coaching. And so a great way to boost your feminine energy and align back into the balance of masculine and feminine is to be able to join the group work. If you join the group work, we're going to be going through a lot of the things that are going to address many of, I'll just say, symptoms of blockage to the feminine energy. We're going to be going through shadow work. We're going to be going through somatic practices, nervous system regulation. Nervous system regulation has become very potent in my own work for myself. Noticing how I'm feeling has been really key into my own healing. Since having my third baby, have felt a lot of different feelings within my own self, and it's helping me to become more aware, where I'm feeling something, how is it making me feel, and why is that, and allowing me to pay more attention to my body. So I've become really passionate about the somatics and nervous system regulation, working through trauma, working through reconnecting to our feminine wisdom, learning about the deep feminine mysteries of the amazing goddesses before us and the priestesses that were holding space, and how do we connect to all that, all of our own feminine mysteries, and connecting to the cycles. And so that's what this group work is going to be about. Okay, so if you have any questions, reach out to me. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Womb Wisdom Wednesday. Bye now.